Hi, friends. Welcome to Race to Rise podcast, a place where we discuss bite sized wisdom nuggets with easy to follow practices to live a better life. I am your host, Mital Patel, a parenting junkie, Ayurveda enthusiast, and an advocate of conscious living. We all talk about self-care, but what about the need-based self-care? Because we don't get to choose our needs, we only get to choose when and how we'll meet those needs. I really want to start with sharing one of the analogies that monk Thich Nhat Hanh shares. He says, when you plant, and this is not how exactly he shares, but this is something what I have grasped. He says, when you plant tomato plant, if it does not grow well, you don't blame the tomatoes, do you? Instead, you look for reasons if it's not doing well, right? It may be that it needs more or less fertilizer. It may be that it needs more or less water or more or less sun. You never go and blame the tomato plant. Yet, if we have problems with our friends, families, or children, we go and blame the other person. But if we know how to take care of them and how to take care of our needs, then we know that they'll grow well, like the tomato plant. So blaming is never helpful, nor is trying to persuade using the reasons or arguments. And that's actually exactly my experience as well. No blame, no reasoning, no argument, just understanding. So if we understand and if we show that we understand and we love, and the situation will change and will get better. And this is where self-care plays an important role. And self-care is not about just, getting massages. I mean, we've all heard about it. It's not about just getting massages, getting mani-pedi, or getting my hair done. It's about taking care of our needs. And it's also about facilitating the environment so that we don't get frustrated or irritated because of somebody else's behaviors, because it seems like we always have those triggers around us, especially for parents. It is so important for us to facilitate the environment for our kids, for taking care of their needs. That way they can grow and we can grow as well at the same time. So now we all know that how important the self-care is. How can we choose what do I need in the moment, or what are my needs? So let's look at this one. We all have five senses, right? And which sends us important information, which most of the time we ignore, but but basically our emotions have important information for us as well, and it gets transferred through our senses. So just like when we're hungry, tired, or thirsty, we know that when we're tired we need to sleep, or when we're thirsty we need water, when we feel cold we need to warm up. Similarly, we have some psychological needs based on emotions. And if we learn to listen to these messages, we can thrive in our life. Yes, my friend, and thriving is what we're aiming for, right? So the point isn't to fix our emotions or fix our needs. Rather, it's about to feel the emotions fully and feeling all types of feelings and experiences, which can make our life vibrant and interesting at the same time. So when you're feeling something important, ask yourself, what might I need right now? What is that basic need your mind, body, and soul needs to fulfill, right? So for example, it could be that you need to be more creative. Now, let's look at some of the basic needs. So, could be that, we need to listen to ourselves more. We need to feel the world around us, which is, like being present. We need to be in charge of ourselves and our spaces. So, like being autonomous. We need to feel safe, resilient. We need to have resilient and safe relationships. So we're looking for a community. We need to feel loved and cared for. We're looking for, the love from within and from our family and friends. It could be that we need to feel understood, that we're looking for empathy. We need to feel, we need to feel safe. We need to protect ourselves. Could be that we need the predictability, like we need a structure in our life. So these are some of the basic needs that we need to thrive in our life. Now, let's look at some of the examples of the self care that we can do for each of these basic needs. So, number one, what can we do when we feel like I need to listen to myself? Be creative. How can we be creative? You can choose to draw or write about how you're feeling, and letting these feelings out of our head and into the world actually feels like taking some of the pressure off, and it allows us to contextualize our experiences. We can choose to dance because dancing can help shake up the feeling and experiences that get stuck in our body, and it just let it out. We can choose to meditate because meditating brings our awareness to what's happening inside of us, and it helps us look within. And there are several ways of meditating. Whenever we find stillness, we can notice what's happening right here, right now, without trying to change it, and meditate on it, right? And meditation can also help us feel calm, rested, and creative. We can also choose to create some downtime because rest is so important and we really need it, just like our food. And our brains actually need some time to relax where we can think about whatever we want without being interrupted. So having downtime when we need is so important, and it's the key to sparkling play and creativity and letting our creative creature out. Number two, what can we do when we feel that I need to feel the world around me? We need to be present, right? So how can we take care of this need? We can use the five senses meditation where we can name the thing that you can see, hear, smell, and touch. And feeling this actually brings us in the present moment and centers us. We can light candles because harsh artificial lighting can feel like too much sometimes, and we're already so overwhelmed and we need to slow it down, and we can just at that time we can just light some candles and dim the lights, wrap yourself in a cozy candlelight, and just enjoy the stillness. Or you can go out and find some sunlight because the sun helps our skin absorb the vitamin D, and we really need this to make us feel happy and awake. So go outside, find a sunny spot, relax, and just calm yourself down and enjoy the sun. One of the other self-care tip that I learned, I haven't tried it, but maybe you can try it. It's to bring yourself back to present moment is brush your teeth. Yes. And it does logically make sense to me. I just have never tried it, and but I wanted to share it anyways. So it's so true that we usually brush our teeth during transition times, like when we start our day or when we get ready for bed. And so they say like brushing our teeth can actually send a signal to our brains that says, okay, starting over. Ah, that's better, right? So, I mean, you can try it out and see if that brings you in the present moment. Like, grab a toothbrush next time you need that easy reset, and you need to come back to the present moment. Then the next need is about whenever we need to be in charge of ourselves and our spaces. So like the autonomy, if you want to be autonomous about your needs and controlling the self-control and stuff, there are a few things that you can do to take care of this need. Is number one, you can make your own decisions. Whenever we spend all day doing things that other people expect us to do, it's hard for us to feel fulfilled or happy. And this goes for our kids too. We really want to empower them to be autonomous and make their own decisions. So, anyways, back to this need that we all need to feel like we have, a say in what happens to us. And is there something that you would like to be in charge of? So, create that list of choices that you want to make, whether they are large or small. And this can fulfill the need to be in charge. You can also do a privacy from interaction. So, like, sometimes we really need to take that break from thinking about what other people are saying and doing. So, what we can do is we can turn off our phones, our tablets, computers, TVs, etc., and then make it easier for us to focus on what we are feeling and thinking in that moment. So, it's like, just going back to within us. And to other people, we can just say, like, to people around us, we can just say, I need some time just by myself. And I'm sure everybody understands because everybody needs this. Other thing that you can do to take care of these needs is just go outside. Like, being overstimulated, we are all so overly stimulated due to our screens, and just being, it's just so noisy and fidgety and gets frustrating, and it can be challenging. And so when this happens, it can be so helpful to change our environment. So just by heading outside or taking a little walk is all we need. So just, go play out in the park or visit your favorite tree, and that's about it. This takes care of the need of being in charge. Another thing that you can do is experience another reality. So, like, just read a story. Getting lost in a story can actually help us feel the present, and it help us little less feel a little less stressful. So just read or listen to a book, watch another show, or listen to music, and just go forget your current I mean, it's not like we're ignoring or we're forgetting. It's just we do need to change the environment. So you can do it this way. Then another, our basic need is we all need the safe and resilient relationships in our lives. So, like, having a sense of community. How can we take care of these needs? So for feeling fulfilling the need of safe and resilient relationships, you can set boundaries. Setting small boundaries is like telling people what we need from them to feel safe and loved. And this is how we can protect our relationship. And this is so important in parenting, setting the boundaries, because it just lets, this, by setting boundaries, we can keep our relationships safe, and we can also make our kids feel safe, and they really need it. And this can go with other relationships as well, like with your bosses, coworkers. It's just so important. And this can sound like, I want you to ask before you come in my room, or I don't want to cuddle right now. I need to finish this. Give me 15 minutes. These are some of the ways that you can convey the boundaries. Another thing that you can do is relationship repair. So, so, so important. I really put a lot of pressure on this in my household too, and with my clients too, that all relationships need repair. Whether it's a parent-child relationship, whether it's a relationship with your friend or spouse, your parents, any relationship, coworker, because when we realize that when we said something or did something that might have hurt our connection with someone, it's just need that it just might be that time for repair. And when this happens, we can just ask ourselves, like, how can I show them what's in my heart? And you'll get the answer. Trust me, we all have the answers. As a coach, I really believe that we all have answers. We are all resourceful. It's just about asking the question. It's just about being open and, listening to our heart and mind and our body. So this is a very important self-care tool that you can utilize. Another thing that you can do is giving thanks, gratitude. Super, super, super important. Making a list of things that we're thankful for, it brings our attention to all the ways our lives are bright and joyful, right? And gratitude actually reminds us that that happiness, and the happiness radiates from inside. It's from within. It's not about what other people did to me. So This way you can nurture and you can feel, and again, you can nurture your own relationship with yourself. It could also be that you really need that, you need to feel safe with yourself, and you need to be, so you need to just understand yourself. So just going within is, again, helps. Another tool that you can do, another self-care thing that you can do is having a listening ear. So like find a trusted a friend or family person who you can share your feelings with. And this might be the need to, this might feel the need of a safe and resilient relationship. And what then the next need is to feel cared for, to be loved. The care that you can do is cuddle. Yes, cuddles. Just ask for cuddles, give cuddles. And hey, it is so okay to ask for cuddles too. Cuddles actually releases the hormone oxytocin in our brains, which helps us feel connected and less stressed. So just, next time you feel you really need to be cared for, you really need to feel loved, just go and ask a friend or a family member that if they would like to snuggle up on the couch with you, or give you a hug, or just go and cuddle a stuffed animal if you don't have anyone around. Okay, this actually does release oxytocin, and it releases a signal, hey, and it makes you feel connected and less stressful. Another thing is, in yoga I learned, is roll up in a blanket burrito, and it actually does feel cared and loved. And this my friend, it's so important to, and I always talk about it in the previous episode too. I've mentioned that our love is like a paycheck, it's self-love. And roll up in a blanket burrito is it self-love. So all you do is, you just rolled up yourself in a blanket, and that's it. Just, just be like a burrito, and it actually helps us feel like held, safe, and protected. And so the cozy squeeze of the blanket feels like a warm hug. And you can do this for yourself. You can ask for a friend to do it with you. And once you're there, you can just stay as long as you would like to. So this actually does feel fulfill the need of cared and loved. Another thing that you can do is connection time. Yes, I do this with my kids all the time. Like every day we have one-on-one connection time. It's so important to, to have the connection in our life, because, and hey, as you know, my mantra, connection over correction, right? It's so important. So what you can do is you can ask someone trusted and important in your life to spend some time together, just you and them. You can make requests that'll help them meet your need for the love in a way that resonates strongly to you. And you can, you can go and say like, would you like to spend some connection time with me, or connective time with me? And trust me, everybody loves to spend some connection quality time. Our next need is to feel understood. So like, to feel empathetic and to feel that sense of empathy in our life. What you can, to fulfill this need, the care that you can take is you can connect with characters. So like find a character from a book, TV, or art that you feel drawn to. Even though their life might look very different from yours, the feelings are probably much the same. And so I think connecting with characters can actually help us understand others and ourselves better as well. The next thing that you actually, and the very important thing that you can do to fulfill the need to feel understood, is accept yourself as you are. Yes, there are always things that we will want to be better at. And if we wait until we're good at all of them to love ourselves, then we'll be waiting a long time. So just love yourself right now in this moment, just the way you are. Make a list or draw a picture of the things that you love about yourself today. And, this is how you can start. And it's just, empathy is never outside. Everything is all within inside, right? It's all inside of us. So this can fulfill the need to feel understood. Another thing that you can do is, the self-care thing is, it's to be heard and seen. And we all have this core need of being heard and seen and loved, right? So what you can do is, we as an adult, we think asking for something is a weakness. Actually, it's a strength. Not everybody has this strength to do it. And so we can model this for our kids, for our friends. So just go and ask a friend if they will listen to how you're feeling, and then reflect back to you what they heard. And you can let them know that you don't need help or advice just to feel understood. By the way, you can do this with coach. It's just such an easy process. So find yourself a coach, find yourself that friend. You really, we as a human being, or in general, we all are looking for that listening ears. We all want to be heard and seen. We don't need no advice, to be honest, or no tips or hacks. All we're asking is we want to be feel understood. So go find yourself a coach, invest in your coaching, and the coach is that guide who can listen to you, who can help you get your answers from within outside, and you don't have to feel stuck anymore, and help you move forward. So if you are looking for one of those person in your life, just reach out, DM me at Rise with Mittal. You can reply back. You can email me, and you'll find all the details in the show notes. So yes, you can do that. And then the most important thing that you can do for is ask for grace. Because in order to grow and learn, we need to be free to make mistakes and mess up. So remind yourself that making mistakes is part of learning. And sometimes you might even need to say to others that, hey, I'm still learning, and will you give me some room to make mistake? Just go for it. And our another need is to feel, to protect ourselves, like safety. It's so important. What you can do is, there are a few things that you can do for this, to take care of this need, is walk away. You can just, to protect ourselves and other people, we can just walk away sometime from the situations and scenarios where it doesn't serve us anymore. And so when we do this, we can say something like, hey, I need a breather. Or I need 5 minutes by myself. And I say this to my kids all the time. Or I need space. I tell my kids, like, as soon as I get home, and if they're just, chattering, and if they want to tell me and they just gang up on me, I say, oh, I see you all are so excited. Both of you are so excited to share your day. But I need 5 minutes by myself to freshen up, and I'll be right back. As soon as I'm back, you can tell me your stories. So you can, this way you can take care of the need of protecting yourself. The next thing you can do is, you can ask for help. Some problems are too big for us to solve on our own. So just, instead of feeling worried and upset or scared, ask for help, and which this can make us feel safe. So go find yourself a coach again. Another thing that you can do is you can protect your space when you're feeling overwhelmed, because sometimes it can be immensely relieving to know that we're totally alone and totally safe. So just protect yourself. Our next need is to have the predictability, structure. So important to have structure. Having structure can literally make our life so much easier. So how can we take care of this need? And these are, by the way, all self-care. Number 1, best thing, get enough sleep. Yes, we spend all day long doing things, emptying, our energy cups. To fulfill that, we really need sleep. And when we sleep, we fill everything back up. So making sure to go to bed around the same time every day can help us feel happy, confident, and relaxed. Another thing that we can do is create a consistent routine. When we know what to expect throughout the day, we can actually more easily relax into the rhythm. And in Ayurveda, we follow this, daily rhythm according to the times of the day, according to the sunset and sunrise. And it's just so, it makes me, it gives me that certainty into my day. So making a list of things that happens every day and in what order helps us feel secure. And you can just hang up the list somewhere that you can see it.
so you'll know what's coming next. Another thing that you can do is create rituals. Yes, rituals are ways to create safety when things are always changing. And of course, in pandemic, we don't know what things are changing, what's coming. So just create some rituals that can make you feel safe. And to be honest, all we really need to do is just start with the tiny thing and practice keeping a promise to yourself. That's about it. That's how you create rituals. Next, another thing that you can do for structure is make a plan. Yes, new situations or old situations that are tricky for us can throw us for a loop. So when you notice yourself worrying about what will happen next, just sit down and make a plan. Write down your big questions and work on answering them. And so making a plan works especially well with a friend so they can keep us accountable, or a coach so they can keep us accountable. So my friend, that's about it. I hope you were able to catch it. If not, just go back. So basically, I shared about 8 basic needs that we really need, and I shared 4 self-care tips on each of those needs. So just go back and listen to it and take care of yourself, my friend, because if we don't take care of ourselves, nobody will. And if we take care of ourselves, we will be equipped to take care of our children or our friends and families in our life. So happy self-care.
That's it for this week's episode of Race to Rise. Be sure to sign up to our email list at risewithmittal.com and join us again next time for more wisdom about life, kids, and everything in between. I am Mittal Patel, wishing you happy raising and rising.